Hey guys, Mo here with Haven Defense Group. I'm going to show you guys how you can fly with your firearm. It's pretty simple. All you're going to need is a case of some sort, your firearm obviously, your magazine, locks, and the original box. This part's important. The original box your ammo comes in. They're not going to really know anything about that, you know, like what kind of ammo you have and doesn't match the actual box, but what I have is like the critical duty Hornady rounds and 135 grain, and we're going to be using that whenever I travel. I just carry that with my Glock 19. And so one of the things we're going to do is obviously we're going to clear the weapon first, right? Then we're going to grab our case, and I have a pair of pants in here that I like using to keep them cushioned because I don't want my pistol bouncing around inside the case. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab the pistol, I'm gonna make sure it's clear, I'm just gonna put that in there. I actually have a holster that I like using. I've modified this Ragnarok from T-Rex Arms. I put the pistol in there, and you see it sits pretty flush with the pistol, so there's no like extra, it's not really extra, there's nothing sticking out. I just put it right in there, and then I put the magazine in here, and then with the ammo I just keep it in here just like that, and then pack it all in there, close it up. This is the only downside to using these pants. And then we're gonna put the locks on both holes. If your case is larger and you have more locks, your TSA at pretty much every airport that I've been to with every case that I've ever had, they're gonna require that you use every single port for you to put a lock on. So this one only has two. It's a Pelican case. Here's the number for you guys, Pelican 1200. Very good. I just took all the foam out because at the time I was using the foam, I was using the case for something else, and then I realized that this is a great case to carry my pistol in when I travel. Another thing is I also put this case, it's small enough that it actually goes in my luggage bag, and I'll explain that here in a second. So when you guys pack this up, right, when you pack everything up and you lock it up, or if it's this small, the TSA is going to be like, oh hey, you need to put it inside your bag, because they're not gonna actually let this. They've never let me actually fly with it being this small. What they do is I basically make sure that when I pack my bag, I have extra room in my bag for this case, and it fits perfectly. I've got a spot just for it in my bag, and then I just make sure it's cinched up, I lock it up, and then it goes. Pretty super easy. One thing I really recommend though before you guys fly with a gun is make sure that your state is reciprocal to your license to carry. I know some states don't require it, other states have the requirement, like Haven Defense is based in Texas. We work out of Texas, so whenever I fly, I use my LTC, but whenever I check online, there's a ton of references you guys can use to find out if your state or the state you're going to has reciprocating rules. So some states, like right now I'm in North Carolina when I'm filming this, and they don't care. They, at least the rules that I read, they don't seem to care. They are allowing me to carry a firearm just because I have it, and I'm over 21 and whatnot. The rules change though, laws change, so I would really recommend you go online to a reputable website that has updated information. But that's pretty much it. Super easy, super simple. A lot of people have asked me like, oh, how often do you fly? I was like, every chance I get, every state I go to that lets me fly with a firearm, or let me carry a firearm, I will have a firearm with me. And sometimes I bring my big ones, the bigger cases. and sometimes I fly with just the pistol. Depends on, the length of the trip. Something you want to just keep in mind is whenever you're working around and about, that, can you bring your gun? Do you have the space to pack it? Do you have a bag that you can put it in if it's this small? And if it's not, when you guys get to TSA, like, they're gonna ask you, like, hey, is the magazine separated from the weapon? Is the ammo in its original case? So as soon as I get up to the counter, I actually just immediately introduce all of those, rules to them. It's like, hey, by the way, I'm flying with a firearm. The ammo's in its original case. The magazine is separated from the weapon. There's no ammo in the magazine, and the weapon is not loaded. And half the time, because sometimes they will ask you to open this up, but most of the time when I lay out all of the things that I've done to make sure, because I tell them basically, hey, I know the rules. I followed all your little rules. Once I do that, they're like, okay, cool. And they put a cool little nifty sticker that you sign saying, hey, I declare that this firearm is unloaded, and they tell you to pack it up. Now, when you are flying with the firearm and, you land at your destination, your bag, the bag that contains the firearm, or the case, if it's large enough to fly on its own, if the case or bag containing the firearm, once you go to get it, it's not going to show up in the carousel, so like when you land and you're going to baggage and claim, all your bags that don't have firearms in them, those will show up still on the carousel, but your bag with the firearm, or the container that has the firearm in it, that will be actually, well, it's supposed to go to the TSA checkpoint or oversized people. I'm sure you guys have seen it where, like, they have an oversized baggage claiming center, and so what you do is you go to them, and then you'll usually see somebody from TSA or airport maintenance, or somebody that's working the bag system, bring your bag over to these TSA guys, and then what you're gonna have to do is show ID. They'll verify it's your bag before they give it to you, because whenever you do claim the firearm and they take your bag initially before you fly, they're gonna ask you, they're gonna ask you all the questions about, your firearm and stuff if you don't answer it for them, and then they'll put a special tag on it that's colored, usually orange. Mine have recently been orange or green, something like that. And then they'll take your bag, and then when it shows up, the other guys on the other side know, oh, this bag has a gun in it, or this box has a gun in it. So they'll take it, and they'll make sure that the right person is picking up the right, their firearm. So that's how it's supposed to go down. I had an incident once where my bag that contained the firearm actually showed up on the carousel in DFW, and just to make it safe for everybody, because I don't know how, like, they do their accountability, because obviously that was an accountability mess up. So what I do is I just go to one of the service agents, or even just like one of the American airline people, after I get my bag off the carousel, and be like, hey, here's my name, here's my ID, this is my bag, and it had a gun on it, or it has a gun in it, and I showing you that I'm taking it out. That way there's some accountability. It's not really like, like, oh, you're showing Big Brother that, or you're showing people that who you are and you brought a gun. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, if somebody's like, oh shit, there's a gun loose in the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't show them that you picked up your weapon, they might think that this weapon is still in the airport somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So I do it as a just in case, to kind of cover your ass and cover, literally just cover your ass. No, nobody else's, because they're the ones that mess it up if that ends up like that. But yeah, guys, super simple. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comments, and see you next time.